Hey, thank you so much for tuning in to a new episode of Cut to Movies with Vivek and Viru. Just before we dive in, we'd like to give you a disclaimer that this episode is filled with spoilers, so please do watch the film first.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Cut 2 with Vivek and Viru. And today we are talking about a national award winning film. Vivek, tell us about it.
We're going to talk about this film called Chumbak, which is directed by Sandeep Modi and co-produced by Hold Your Breath Akshay Kumar. This heartwarming film is about a teenager and a simpleton with the brain of a child and how both of their fates intertwine. Both of these people are like two ends of a magnet that keep pulling towards each other, hence the name of the film, Chumbak.
Absolutely. When I read the name of the film, तब मुझे लगा पता नहीं ये चुंबक क्या है? Is it like an attraction or something like that? वैसा कुछ है क्या?
Yeah.
And then through the film I realized कि what is it about? Like this guy like sticks to them and it's like give me back my money, right? And I frankly didn't know before you told me अक्षय कुमार ने इसको produce किया है, present किया है, ये मुझे पता नहीं था. I'm sure he would have made the film and all of that, and then later on after the awards, he would have promoted it. He would have given his name to it.
Cape of Good Films is his production company, and it says that it has been produced by that company. You know, to be fair to this guy, he has produced interesting films like Baby, Padman, which he was part of.
Yes.
Mission Mangal and all of that, but also the bad ones, Suryavanshi, maybe he's.
But those are like right up his alley. All of those movies are like espionage है कहीं पे.
Correct.
So all of those are in his or national थोड़ा सा देशभक्ति वाला वैसा सब है.
Yeah.
But this one is a little different. But yeah, I'm hoping. I don't know if he's invested in more films like these, but yeah, ये वाला. It is interesting that he presented it, and I'm sure a lot of people would have known about this film because he kind of presented and it would have given it more eyeballs for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did win a national award for Swanand Kirkire's performance, which was good. And because the thing is, when I was looking at it, तब मुझे वो बंदा देखा, मेरे को लगा ये तो देखा हुआ बंदा लग रहा है. And then I realized कि ये Swanand Kirkire है. He had like molded himself into that character really well. So mildly autistic kind of a guy. He was not overdoing it. It was like a heartwarming kind of a performance, not overdoing it, and plus staying in character throughout. And अच्छा मेरे को पूरा उसका जो take था on that autistic it was quite good.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I love the role reversal of usually it is an elder person taking care of a child and ensuring the child reaches his or her destination.
Right.
जैसे King Uncle and all of the other films a lot of other films that you've seen, but it is always nice in such films where a child has to take up the responsibility. Yeah. Yes. And also, like you rightly mentioned, it was good to see the autistic bit not being overplayed in the film and not being like, my name is Khan from the Epiglottis. I mean, it was not. It was not very filmy in that sense.
And even if when they were talking about that person ना, तो उसमें वो लोग बोल रहे थे कि वो बड़ा आदमी जो छोटा है, right? They never said कि mentally something problem है या वैसा कुछ भी नहीं था. It was like वो एक तरीके से बताया कि वो बच्चे जैसा है, लेकिन बड़ा है लेकिन बच्चे जैसा है. So that was the only way they were describing it. So they were doing it also in a way that you don't feel offended in any way, right? It was done like with a lot of love. And I एक इंटरव्यू देखा था स्वानंद किरकिरे का, वो बोल रहा था कि जो डायरेक्टर है उसका भी एक कोई रिलेटिव है, nephew or someone who kind of inspired this character. So हाँ, तो उसको देखकर फिर उसने लिखा and they kind of he spent some time with that person as well, Swanand, before. And of course he met a lot of other people. He also spoke to some psychologists and all, and he did some research. He's a nice stage artist. I've seen him एक play देखा था, मेरे को याद नहीं आ रहा नाम, but it was a brilliant play. And he's kind of a singer, he's a writer, he's such a multi-talented personality and stage actor. तो उसमें तो गाना वाना गा रहा था उधर. So it was nice to see him in this role, a different one. In fact, the kids were also really nice. मतलब वो जो obviously the Bala जो main character था, he was good. The second one, उसका जो friend होता है, little over the top, but then also, I mean, he was also good.
Yeah, he was. He was Disco.
I mean, Disco. All these three characters, and पूरे film में these are the main characters. इनका ही है 99%, right? But they carried the film. They kind of carried the film. It was nice. Actually, Marathi films में at least ये child actors को opportunity देते हैं and they do quite well.
Overall, in all of it, right, in the entirety, I felt the film was missing out on being like a really strong film in a lot of ways. Like one aspect was, you know, how in Picasso, that film, in terms of you remember how we were talking about the whole atmospheric
correct
bit that the director had created, wo barish and the greenery and all of that. Isme also there were moments where the director could have kind of bought in that angle of when they were traveling to these multiple villages to bring about you know, that atmosphere into as a character into the film. That did not happen, and I think
did not happen.
And the other bit that really I felt which was a little off was he's a teenager, right? Like a 13-14-year-old guy. Uska frustration actually just comes about in the end when he actually sees that the dukan is gone. Like but up until then he is not acting like a frustrated teenager. He is like Disco is still on the edge, but this guy is not really.
I think वो जो I don't know, मतलब मैंने उसका जो one line वो summary पढ़ा था, उसमें वो coming of age बोल रहे थे, but coming of age की जगह पे ना मुझे actually it's just about that kid struggling with morality and the question of should I do something wrong. Like he has strong morals. ये बच्चा सब सही करना चाहता है in his way, right? But he's like pushed in life to do something wrong, and वो फिर भी करता है. And then coming of age की जगह पे I think this was the whole main question. Like morally, should you, even if you are pushed to the limit, should you do something wrong? राइट और वो जो थिंग है, जैसे वो उसका फ्रेंड बोलता है कि किसी ने तेरे साथ बिजनेस किया, राइट? मतलब चुराया नहीं, तेरे को तेरे साथ बिजनेस किया, तू भी बिजनेस कर, राइट? और जब वो प्रसन्ना को, वो जो स्वानंद को बोलता है कि किसी ने तेरा चुराया है तो तू भी चुरा, तो वो कैसे बोलता है कि लेकिन मैं किसी ने मेरा चुराया और मैंने किसी का चुराया, तो पूरा ऐसे करते करते तो पूरा दुनिया चोर हो जाएगा, राइट? So that's the point that the simple guy makes. So I think that was it. And end में, of course, that ends with a nice twist. Twist मतलब it's a feel good film. So overall, yes, I think वो depth थोड़ा missing है. It's like a feel good, warm film, and not really a very film with great depth.
Also, like you said, I think the way after reading the summary and then watching the film, the message, if it was told in a different way, I think, maybe if you look at it from the choice between should I or should I not, despite the, जैसे that last dialogue he says ना कि कुछ नहीं, रास्ता भटक गया था. If that was the moral of the film, that you know that you might tread a different path, but you still need to choose the right thing to do in your life, despite whatever your circumstance. I think then the film kind of automatically brings in a lot more of a perspective.
I didn't feel I was bored anywhere, because वही स्वानंद का जो character and his performance kind of takes you through, and it's like a breezy thing. Starting में कौन वो बंदा मिला and उसको कैसे चुराएंगे वो होता है, that's the question mark. And then the fact that he comes and just sticks to them like मेरे को पैसा दे दो भाई, and they are like in a soup, अभी करना क्या है? Like बाला भी ऐसे, बाला नहीं, उसका फ्रेंड जो डिस्को है, वो पहले तो he's like ऐसे कर देंगे, ये कर देंगे, वो कर देंगे, but then when they are in the train actually going to meet that person, तो बोलते हैं नहीं ज्यादा फट्टू रहता है एकदम कि नहीं पुलिस पकड़ लेगा. Correct. And पुलिस आता तो एकदम से वो पलट जाता है, नहीं ये है ना बाला, मैं I was not involved in anything.
There were one or two sequences where he's it's a dream sequence, I think, whether it's this red and blue lights and all of that. I was somewhere taken back to air conditioner and
okay.
some scenes from there, and I was hoping against hope that God, please don't make this into a air conditioner of a
Air
film,
conditioner.
because then it would be a completely different experience.
राइट और इनफैक्ट वो जो फर्स्ट उसका जो ड्रीम सीक्वेंस था ना, वो देखकर मुझे लगा कि यार इसका भी ना एकदम वैसे वो जैसे तू वो बोल रहा था दूसरे फिल्म का जैसे फील एटमॉस्फेयर क्रिएट किया है, मेरे को वो फर्स्ट शॉट लिख के लगा ये बड़ा आर्टिस्टिक है, आगे भी जाके इट विल बी लाइक दैट, बट नो इट वाज सिंपली डन लाइक इट द टेक्निक डिडंट कम इन द वे ऑफ स्टोरी टेलिंग इन एनी वे, इट वाज सिंपल simply done. You didn't feel कि कहीं पे भी off है. And the characters also जो side characters आते हैं अंकल वगैरह वगैरह, थोड़ा वो महाराष्ट्रियन feel जब आता है, उसके पेरेंट उसके मामा जब आते हैं और मम्मी जब आती है, तो वो भी थोड़ा सा एक वो गांव का वो feel थोड़ा सा आता है उसमें. The way they talk and all of that. But overall, I had fun. What was like any scenes that you particularly liked?
My favorite, I mean, there are a couple of scenes, like you said, it's so easy breezy. Couple of scenes that I really liked, especially between Swanand Kirkire and the main child. Those moments of humor that there are.
Right.
But I think my favorite scene that stood out for me was, I think once they sell the chain and get all the money in their hands, they go and eat in that canteen, and in the end when that little kid comes to clean the table and the way he looks at the kid, और वो tip देता है, I think that was that one scene it really stood out.
That was an excellent scene यार, वो बहुत ही सही था. In fact, the other one which I felt कि मतलब वो simple, it could have been over the top. वो जो ATM में वो उसको बोलता है कि ये कैमरा है और ये सब जगह दिखता है, एंड वो उठता है और अपनी बीवी को बोलता है कि भाई जाना मत तू मेरे को छोड़ के, because that's his only worry. Like everyone else is against him in this world. Village में everyone makes fun of him and all, but only his wife is someone who has stood by him, and his main concern is कि भाई मैं वापस जाऊंगा कुछ खाली हाथ, तो she will leave me, and that comes out there. So वो एक अच्छा लगा. So it was,
but I think the villain for me was Sony Live, Viru. I have to.
Why?
I think Netflix ने हमें इतना, और at least मुझे इतना बिगाड़ दिया है in terms of UX, that when I was on Sony Live, I just couldn't bear. एक तो I kept facing an issue of the language of the film. It kept switching to Hindi, the dub.
Why?
Yeah, that was problem number one. Problem number two, suddenly the app would kind of shut, and then I had to kind of start it again. And I'm talking about Amazon Fire TV Stick, and I tried that on my laptop as well, but I don't know. I mean, it was
Sony Live
pathetic.
तो इतना Twitter पे गाली मिलता है ना. It is one of the most abused platforms on social media, and purely because they've got all the rights for the big tournaments and everything, right? Football से लेके cricket सब कुछ वो लोग दिखाते हैं, but they don't have the backend to support it. They don't have the app to support it. It crashes all the time. Live stream में तो public इतना गाली देता है कि पूछो मत. And they have given this contract to TCS, so it might just go from bad to worse.
But now तो all the sports is live on Disney Plus Hotstar, right?
Yes.
तो Sony Live पे क्यों जाएंगे लोग? I don't understand.
नहीं तो Sony also wins a lot of contracts. So that's the whole deal. So and football वगैरह भी बहुत सारा they focus on, so वो भी आता है. तो
it's terrible. I'm not going to extend my subscription, not even for this podcast. Please, अपन अगले films कहीं और से निकालेंगे, but not this app.
Hopefully all the good ones will come on the other platforms.
Yeah.
So here's to the people working at Sony Live, please improve your platform so that we start getting the experience that we expect from all these platforms now. Our expectations are really high with Netflix. Prime is also up there, but Netflix is like one of the best, so aim for that at least. Because streaming सब कुछ Netflix का is like amazing, and I'm hoping like if people do have Sony Live and उसके लिए इस पिक्चर के लिए खरीदना मत, दैट वुड बी टू मच टू बाय बट इफ यू हैव अ सब्सक्रिप्शन डू वॉच दिस फिल्म बिकॉज अभी आई थिंक a few days ago it was added and it's like a 2019 film and it won a national award then and it's a nice film to watch. You should not miss it. You should it's a nice weekend watch. If you understand Marathi, great. If you don't, there are different languages. But like Vivek said, you might face some problems. And and let us know अगर तुमने देखा हुआ है तो what did you feel about it? Is there something that we missed? Any nuances or any Maharashtrian that belt जहाँ से ये लोग आते हैं उसका कुछ एक nuances that were shown and we missed or something like that? Do let us know.
And while you do that, please press the follow button on our Spotify channel. And we are also on Gaana, so you can go and check us out just in case if you have Gaana on your phones and on your devices. So you can follow our channel there as well.
Bye.
Bye.